can't save all three!
And when you take on the responsibility, a great hour will come.
Hello and welcome to Rapid Review. While 2024 gave us some incredible films, it also brought us movies that made us want to leave the theater mid-screening. Today, we're counting down the top 10 worst movies of 2024. Films that promised so much and delivered so little. From disappointing reboots to misguided originals, these are the cinematic flops that made us cringe. But don't worry, we'll balance things out soon with our top 10 best movies of 2024 video. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into the train wrecks. Number 10, Imaginary. What started as an intriguing concept, a child's imaginary friend turning out to be terrifyingly real, quickly fell apart due to lazy execution. The horror here relied on tired tropes and unearned jump scares, leaving audiences rolling their eyes rather than gripping their seats. Number 9, Night Swim. Set around a cursed swimming pool, this horror film floated on a shallow premise but drowned in clunky storytelling. The pacing dragged through endless exposition, leaving little room for actual scares. By the time the film delivered on its promised tension, most viewers were already checked out. It's a shame, as Night Swim had the potential to capitalize on its unique concept, but instead, it floundered with predictable twists and lifeless performances. Number 8, The Strangers Chapter 1. With none of the original's unsettling atmosphere or nail-biting tension, this chapter was a bland and uninspired imitation. Instead of focusing on the terror of the unknown, it opted for cheap scares and nonsensical character decisions that left fans of the franchise disappointed and new audiences unimpressed. No Way Up, a survival thriller about strangers trapped in an airplane at the bottom of the ocean. Things get worse when they realize they are surrounded by hungry sharks. With paper-thin characters to over-the-top bad CGI action sequences, No Way Up has viewers laughing instead of screaming. Number 6, Argylle.
I certainly hope you dance as well as you dress.
There's only one way to find out.
With its flashy trailers and star-studded cast, Argylle promised to be a stylish spy caper that reinvigorated the genre. Instead, it delivered an incoherent mess that was neither funny nor thrilling. The overuse of stylistic flourishes felt like a desperate attempt to distract from the shallow plot, while the humor fell flat more often than not. Number 5, The Crow.
What's the first thing you liked about me?
I thought that you were quite brilliantly broken.
You treat like my person.
This 2024 remake of the cult classic had fans cautiously optimistic until they saw the final product. Stripped of the original's gritty charm and emotional resonance, The Crow was a soulless reimagining that failed to justify its existence. The film's attempts to modernize the story felt forced, and its generic aesthetic lacked the haunting beauty that made the original so iconic. Number 4, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. After the success of Ghostbusters: Afterlife, expectations were high for this sequel. Unfortunately, Frozen Empire turned out to be a lukewarm offering at best.
Firing a laser gun indiscriminately?
Has a proton pack.
It's completely safe.
I would say completely safe.
The Ghostbusters are finished.
The film struggled to balance its mix of nostalgia and new elements, resulting in an awkward, uneven tone. Its underwhelming villain and a plot that felt like a rehash of past stories left fans wondering why the franchise couldn't just let the ghost rest in peace. Number 3, Borderlands.
Would you look at that? A ladder! Unfortunately, my design doesn't facilitate this type of...
Well, destiny awaits.
With its over-the-top characters and vibrant world, Borderlands seemed like the perfect fit for a chaotic, fun movie adaptation. What we got instead was an exhausting barrage of bad jokes, inconsistent performances, and a plot that somehow managed to make the game's already thin story even weaker. It's a film that tried to do too much and ended up doing nothing well, alienating both fans of the games and casual moviegoers alike. Number 2, Madam Web. The Spider-Verse has been one of Marvel's most exciting avenues, but Madam Web proved to be a dead end. The movie's convoluted plot and bland characters failed to live up to the fascinating potential of its titular character. Instead of exploring her rich backstory or her unique connection to the multiverse, the film meandered through a generic origin story that felt more like an obligation than a passion project. Number 1, Megalopolis.
One filmmaker has always been ahead of his time.
Time stop!
Francis Ford Coppola's long-awaited epic Megalopolis was hyped as a cinematic masterpiece in the making. Instead, it became the year's most shocking disappointment. Overly ambitious and wildly unfocused, the film drowned in its own excess. Characters felt underdeveloped, the plot was incomprehensible at times, and its heavy-handed themes left audiences rolling their eyes. It's a tragic misfire from one of cinema's greats that will likely go down as a cautionary tale about unchecked ambition. And that wraps up our top 10 worst movies of 2024. Did you agree with our list, or do you think we missed an even bigger disaster? Let us know in the comments below. But hey, it's not all bad. Stay tuned for our top 10 best movies of 2024 list, where we'll celebrate the films that restored our faith in cinema. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss it. This has been Rapid Review. See you at the movies.